talked about AL red side being so threatening, this is how they like to go about it. They got Shanks his counter pick, and they give Kyle R5, but your reaction...
Caliber TN is huge, but going back on Shanks with no flash here.
Okay, they need to get the seismic stuff from Xiaohu to make sure they can get this kill.
Ooh, they got it.
Are going to land it across, throwing the stones right at Shanks' noggin, and they will punish that early flash. TN damage to deal with the tank. So if TN gets ahead on this Skarner with a bunch of Heartsteel stacks, does have access to that cease and desist. TN as well has that impale if he wants it. Seismic Strike is going to land, immediately goes for the impale, stacks two just like that, but the turn comes out from Tarzan because they didn't have any damage. Light wasn't close enough. Xiaohu had cooldowns. The bailout will not save him, but luckily the flash play onto Shanks will make it a trade, so Waybo still going to stay up in the kill. Down for AL, not Shanks. Has the Shockwave. TN going to go in with that E on the Skarner. The Shockwave completely whiffs from Shanks. He has to flash away from the Impale, but fortunately for Shanks, all of that chaos buys enough time for AL to secure their second dragon of the game, and cease and desist was left up into a perfect double tap from Kyle. They perfectly locked out. Go wide as TN didn't even have to commit the ultimate to get the flash out. There's another Shockwave down. Shanks only finds one, so AL really struggling to sync their ultimates up together, and this game too is just getting really marred by the mistakes on both sides now.
Ooh, we talked about desperation for Weibo Gaming. That looked like desperation for AL. I assume they're going to back off here. It looks like Fondra's just stepping up to try to get some poke down. Some damage coming in on the mid turret.
Tarzan, you have the aggro! Oh my god. Tarzan's down. Breathe is unleashed. Am I watching playoff LPL? I'm flat. We are 5 kills deep, about 17 minutes in. A couple of turrets being taken on the other side, and K-Man, what does that really tell you about who can find the win here? The confidence of the macro execution of AL in the last game, or maybe what we've seen in these recent minutes out of Weibo? Where's your head at?
Oh, well, right now my head's at KL and a potential huge
I didn't
ultimate
see
if
Tarzan.
he can land it.
Yeah,
Tarzan is on the flank. This could be a huge problem. This is a big
Vault
fight.
Breaker, Ash Arrow. Can he secure it through the Ren? No, the Ren takes it away from Tarzan. So they stop the Dragon 20-minute mark, which we're about to crest, was what got them the 5-game win over JDG. They're going to drop the Rift Herald Air mid, try to break open the map, and they're going to succeed at doing that. So the mid, bot, and top tier 1 is down, and that creates a whole game. Because you can't side lane match the Bessa. You can't hit the arrows so far for Hope as well. The Shockwave and Cease and Desist, though, is enough of an ailment to knock down Xiaohu. Don't need the crystallized stun of the arrow. First pick found here for AL, but they use a ton of ultimates to try and go for it. No Shockwave, no Cease and Desist, no arrow. So is Weibo going to be able to punish? No, because Erhan nearly gets chunked out completely by Hope, who pops the Ghost. Anyone's Legend have control of the Octagon pit. They get the pick. They're still down ultimates, and still, Weibo are not clear and concise, trying to find a team fight right now. Does CN have a Miracle Seal? Can Breathe find the big public execution? All of it's about to go down here as they are circling and entrapping AL, daring them to try and 50-50 this Octagon. That's what they're going to get. Hostile takeover hits onto 4 members as Erha and Breathe fly in, and they set up Light to go wild with the Callista. AL trying to bite off an Octagon that they just could not chew, and it gives them so much runway in the name of Weibo Gaming. And aspected in this matchup a bit more riled up. Saw some Weibo fans looking a bit distraught. Like to see that team fight win. Some of the loudest fans in that JDG matchup nonetheless. And Weibo really cruising along that Octagon fight win. They got the grubs. They've got complete control of this bot side. They're going to take a tier 2 and even up the Drake count. For once, I'm asking AL, what does their response look like? Because the tier 1 on the top side is a very small consolation prize compared to the double-decker trophy that Weibo just grabbed.
Yeah, you can also get Breathe onto the flank, which is what they're doing now.
Oh, public execution lands. They find the crown jewel of Hope, who falls first, and now all of AL's damage is gone. The encore hits onto 4 members. Hostile takeover is going to go wide as a response there from Erha. But again, AL, they can't operate in a 5v5 setting with all this burst damage, especially not with Hope. What does Flandra give you? What does Shakes get you? Nothing but survivability, and that's not going to cut it for AL right now. They're going to re-engage back onto Breathe here. Double tap lands, but Tien gets the impale onto Shakes, the primary target. Tarzan trying to bail out, but Flandra Breathe is going to follow him over the wall and execute him once again. The comp for anyone's Legend failing them as they give up more. What do these 3 champions even do except fall to the seismic shove from the general? Tien secures the Baron, and now the turn comes out here. Hope and Kyle gonna have to run away from the big Scorpion, but Xiaohu finds the seismic shove, the perfect combination knockdown to Hope. Every laning phase may have been questionable from Xiaohu, but when it comes to fights, when it comes to end games, this guy is locked in. There's nothing AL can do. There's nothing AL can take on the map right now. They are being routed.
Now this is peak Weibo gaming. When I think of what this team does at a high level, it's greed. And I know greed is often looked at as a bad thing. Not for Weibo gaming, it's not. When they win, they take everything on the map, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. They put themselves on soul point with 3 Hextech Drakes. Even just the perfect cleanse coming in there from Erha. Why not? Mikhails, the perfect Mikhails, who even... Oh, and it's not even over. Tien is still going forward. This time maybe a bit too far.
Oh my god, we're going after the take Skarner. We've dumped 2 ultimates into him. Okay, Hope gets the shutdown. Fate's Call gonna save Erha for now. Hope able to free fire, gets a really good first commitment. Xiaohu comes through a gate that he had no business going through, but still kills Kyle, goes into the stasis. Tarzan will shut him down. Second kill found. Shockwave hits its mark onto Erha. No bailout. Public execution, though, from Breathe. There's a ton of damage in that Mbessa, and Tarzan is down now, but AL still want to push the tempo, knowing that this is a window for them to break back into the game. And it's through a flurry of arrows from Hope and the damage out of Shanks. So somehow they're
all here. If Weibo overstepped, that could be a huge problem. Tarzan is finally going to get that bot tier 1. 32 minutes. Yeah, they're just pushing down mid. Inhibitor tower could be gone here.
I love this for Weibo. This is exactly what AL did to them just a game ago. Stretching them thin, forcing them to make tough decisions as a team. So they give up their tier 3 turret. Weibo not an arrow split the uprights. Erha and Tien both don't get hit. Breathe has a flank or just a tier 3 turret if he wants to. Weibo just need to be on the same page here. Dragon is getting started up, but AL are blowing so much gold to try and stop this soul. It's going to be inhibitor or no. Breathe is going to cancel it. Weaver's Wall comes across. Tien goes in. Encore's going to hit light, but he is starting to free hit. Shanks has to get towards the back of the pit. Hostile takeover. Going to hit onto Tarzan and Shanks. Kyle goes down. Public execution comes through for Breathe, and now it's time to get the mops out because Weibo are cleaning house 1 kill at a time. It's only Tarzan to survive, but the Hextech soul went down, and next up on the menu, anyone's Legends Nexus as Weibo bounce back from game 1 and even up our series.
An unbelievable, question mark pingy overall, and, maybe some questionable positioning coming in from some players like Hope. But at the end of the day, it's still a really nice team fight win for Weibo and them showcasing their skill as they take Baron now as well.
Yeah, they can just go through the motions. They have so much more power on the map right now. And like we talked about, as 5, how do you even knock them down? It's an impossible task as AL are sectioned out of the pit, and they don't even get a chance at Baron. Comes across, and here is the first marker of the fight. It's Breathe trying to go wild. Hostile takeover going to hit Hope and Flandra. There's no way to play when you are taken over by Erha and the rest of Weibo. Sure, you had a massive shockwave from Shanks, but it is too little, too late. The witching hour has arrived. The midnight strike has came across in the name of Weibo, and that'll do it. 1-1 your series as this upper bracket continues to not disappoint.
And Weibo Gaming have turned the Jets back on for game number 2. You can talk about the mistakes. You can talk about some macro decisions. At the end of the day, when they get into these team fights, that's when Weibo Gaming really arrive on the Rift. And they did so here to tie up our series and keep the pressure on in game 2. Unreal.